Hey folks, I just thought I'd jump on real quick and talk about the markets. We are FOMC, so I'm not getting too crazy here on trading. I just had a quick idea here that I wanted to share going into Wednesday. And honestly, if the setup doesn't pan out, I won't be trading anything past today. Got a nice little run on crude oil. Well, talk about the US dollar in a minute, but today got a nice little run on crude oil. Price was coming in and chopping sideways right in here, and I actually got a long, see this run up in here, and where price came in and tagged right in here. I actually got a touch off of that, and then price ended up running up, and I got out. I was hoping to get one more push higher above this high here, and price quickly dropped on this candle here, and I got out right around here. So definitely didn't get out of the high, unfortunately, but I got a nice move today in the crude oil market. I got about, I think it was right around 80 pips or so, a little over 80 pips, somewhere in there. So nice little run up, but look at this drop on crude oil. It was pretty amazing. Pretty quickly as well too. When you see these types of movements, especially pre-news and everything else. Like, we don't have crude oil inventories until Thursday of this week. So normally you'd get something like that on, I don't know, like a crude oil inventory day or something like that. But for today to come in and put the high in like that, and then just completely run out all of the bulls in the market and stop everybody out, it's pretty impressive. Obviously they hit a major area of resistance, and I'll just show that on the 4-hour chart right here. I was looking for price, and this is why price came up and ran up into here on this candle, and I was looking for just one more pass higher on this guy here, just to take out this high, and it wasn't very much. I mean, the high, this candle high comes in, I'll just maybe pull up the exact figure here for you. This candle high comes in at 71.62, and this candle high comes in, come on, it's going to give it to me, 71, Jesus, really not wanting to give it to me tonight, 71.40, so it was about 20 pips, 25 pips lower than the high of this one right here, or 25 ticks, I should say, in the crude oil market. Lower than this guy here. So that's what I was kind of holding out for. But then as soon as as soon as I saw price break this market structure right here, I was out. I didn't want to hold off anymore, but I was hoping we'd come down to this little drop down here and then rock it up one more time for a quick 20 pip rip. Didn't get it, but still a very nice daily trade. Now, normally after a trade like that, I would pretty much be out for the week, sitting on the sidelines and watching market price develop going into next week and looking for a similar trade. But I think, well, on crude oil, there's a trade in cable that I'm looking at. But I think crude oil in particular, we came up into some resistance right into here, really reversed quite hard and sunk the market. So if you're trading crude oil going into tomorrow, don't trade past tomorrow, obviously. And tomorrow, I'll bet you tomorrow we'll probably end up getting a very tight range day tomorrow. Like, I would imagine, see this consolidation area right here? I would imagine we'll probably get a drop down into there, and price will just sit and consolidate for better part of tomorrow. And then going into Thursday into crude oil inventory numbers, we'll get the release, and we'll see market price fluctuate, and it'll do what it does. But this area right under here could be a potential for them to drop the market down to. And then just right above here, I've kind of got it outlined in here. There's just a small area of price action that I think we could see the market return back down to. Pretty deep retrace, but if you look and you pull a fib from the low to the high, you can see here that 79% retracement level pretty much lines up exactly where I'm thinking price could retreat down to. And so that's sort of why I'm thinking we may see price just do a nice pull back down to here, and then potentially make that last, whoops, and then potentially make that last bull run up and get into this area. I'm looking for price to come over this rejection, these two rejection candles right in here, and capitalize the area above here. But I think they try to do it on this nice run up here, and they need to go back down and get a few more positions on, and obviously take some people out of the market on the way up. But I think that's kind of where they could potentially be heading. And again, we'll know tomorrow if price kind of chops in here and consolidates, and you see market price break under this price structure right here. Then I guarantee you they'll be coming down deep into here, and that comes in at 66.50 basically. Nice even number there, and that's about $3 away, about $2.50 away from current price right now, so closer to the $3 range. So that's kind of what I'm looking at, and I'll just kind of line it here. If we get a break again, if we get a break under this structure right in here, that's sort of what I'm looking at here. I gotta clean this chart up for you guys. Sorry about this. Give me 1 second. It gets a little messy sometimes. But that's kind of where I'd be seeing price. I believe where I think we could see price try to reach down to. And the only reason I'm thinking that is today because of this massive rejection at that level there. Just had absolutely no interest in running back up. Now, here's the thing though. Looking at this, price did come back and take out this small consolidation area right here after this pop-up. If you don't see price wanting to go below this structure here, so I'm going to put this into here. If price fails to get below this structure right here, then this is just going to be a very shallow retrace. Again, I bet you they're probably going to consolidate tomorrow. And then they'll probably pop it back up into here, and then maybe they'll try and take this high out here. So that's the other scenario. So two scenarios there, but I do believe we will continue to slide a little bit further on crude oil before we come up into here, which would be great for a nice long-term trade if we can get the market to retrace back down to here, and we can pick up some longs down here. That would be a beautiful trade back up to the 71, 72 area. So quick thoughts on crude oil. I'm just going to rip over to the daily US dollar. We had price slam right above these two candles here and completely reject. And actually the high of the candle came in, if I can pull it up, I don't know why my labels aren't coming in here today. So the high of this one came in at 95.66 on this feed. And it took out the stops of, it just took out just briefly popped its head up, turtle soup, took out the stops there, and then rejected, and it ended up closing at 95.35. So very, very interesting day. Now, if you'll recall, I don't know if you, if anybody caught my live session from last night, but I said that, I shouldn't really say that, yeah, about 24 hours ago, I said that if price held off, let's get a new one here. If price held off right about that 95.35 level, that we won't see price want to run any higher. And that's basically exactly where we finished off. And you know, I find it kind of interesting that price ended up doing that. Personally, just give me 1 second here, guys. I'm just doing some quick on-the-fly calculations here. And it closed a little bit above the range on this guy here. And you know what? We could actually just do this. Sorry, I'm just kind of thinking out loud here, just taking some notes out loud. And yeah, right about that 50% range there. So anyway, what my thoughts are going forward is price basically did what I thought it was going to do, that it wasn't going to close higher than that range in there. And that 95.35 level would hold, and it pretty much did. However, they, for good measure, came up and ran the stops above the market above this candle here. So if anyone did manage to get in here and get short, they dropped the price back down on them, ran them out, and away they go, and just slammed up into the bottom of this candle here. This is a reversal pattern right in here, and I believe it just closed a little price inefficiency above the range, and I believe we're probably going to drop into tomorrow. And you know, unfortunately, right now price is basically, it's just sideways. It's just going to probably trade sideways for the rest of the week. So I don't think we're going to be putting in any big ranges yet. So it's going to be September until that happens. But this is a reversal pattern right here. So I think we could start to travel back into here. And as I said yesterday, if we don't successfully close higher than 95.35, then we'll probably end up going to continue to trade lower. And so I think that's what's going to happen tomorrow. We'll probably put in this candle here. We'll probably come in, put a down candle in. I don't know how low it'll go. But I bet you we'll probably end up trading. See these two relatively equal highs right there? We'll probably end up coming down and trading lower down into there as a fairly safe bet, which isn't too far away from current price right now. You know, 95.15 to 95.10, somewhere in there, and it's about 95.30 right now. So that's kind of what I'm foreseeing. It may sit in here and kind of chop sideways for a little bit, but I think we'll probably run lower. And if it gets past this level in here, this 95.10 level, I should say 95.10. I like that number better than 95.15. Well, 95.15 to 95.10. If price decides that it wants to get lower than that, then more than likely it'll bring down this price structure right here, and it'll close down into here and start to rebalance off of this consolidation level right in here. So that's why I've got this gray area under here. That's just basically there's just stops sitting there, and they could be running for. They could want to run through those tomorrow. I say tomorrow, Wednesday's trading, and then push through. But I can't imagine they're going to get a whole lot of range in there. There was quite a bit of movement today, as you can see. Today on Tuesday's trading, you can see price ran up, rejected, and now we're trading softer. So I'm looking to see if what happens when price comes slamming back down into this consolidation range here, if it bounces up a little bit and chops sideways, or if it wants to indeed push through. So that's kind of what I'm going to be watching here. And the trade idea that I'm looking at is, I gotta pull up my chart. There we go. Is the pound dollar. And these guys here. I've got a fresh chart so we can see what we're doing here. So this is a daily. As you can see, price pretty much was running lower in here, and then finally pushed down, making one final low, and we have rejected and retraced higher. Now, a couple of things, obviously, on this price movement here. You pull up a fib, right up to 79% retracement level. Everything's beautiful, nice and easy. Rejected, and since it's been trading softer down in here, again, we came under price structure here. What we didn't break this price structure under here, and it so far has rejected. It put in a big long wick on Tuesday's trading. So if we do get that run lower in the U.S. U.S. yen, sorry, forget that. If we do get the U.S. dollar dropping lower, we should see a push higher. And I had mentioned that I'm still looking for this small little gap in here to get filled. We could see that happen here into Wednesday's trading. Now, just looking real quickly at the calendar, you can see what we have here. There's one high impact news event for the pound sterling. It's a services PMI, and that's happening at 4:30 a.m. New York time, which is about 3 hours and 25 minutes from now. So what I'm thinking, and this is just kind of, you know, I don't think this is a big stretch, but what I'm thinking is here, we'll see price probably want to reach up into that range and close in that gap. Now, what it does from there after it hits that, I don't know. It could go higher, it could go lower. No idea. We'll worry about that after the end of NFP. But I think we could see a bit of a tradable range in here today. And so what I would like to see, you see how price has come in here, came down one time, smashed through the low, took those out, ripped back up, took out that high here, and it's been trading basically sideways ever since. What I think we're probably going to end up seeing is price, one of two things, is price is going to either hold off right here, and you see kind of rate, basically basing rate about where it is right now, and not want to run any higher. You see how these lows are coming in and bouncing off of here. So this could act as support in here, and we could start to see price run higher. Or we'll see price run down and look at trading and just taking out the stops just underneath this price structure right here. Just kind of right under this low in there. And more than likely retrading off of these highs. You see how this price slammed down in here into this old high right there and rejected and just kind of went sideways. We could see price want to go one lower than that, back down to this small consolidation range down in here, and either trade down to here. More than likely, probably just the tops of these candles in here would be sufficient. But that's kind of where I'd be looking for them to come back down into. So I'm going to be watching that going into that news event here. Whoops. This early morning London Open, and see what we get, see where price wants to come down to. So that'd be 128.33 to 128, call it 35, even down to 128.30. That could get run down to 128.40. Yeah. You could even say 128.45 just in case the dealer's spread. If it does go down a pip or two below that, you'd be fine. And then obviously at current levels at 128, 57 or 55 or whatever. So, excuse me. What I'd like to see basically is one of three levels come down, tagged in, hit, and rejected, and not see them willing to go any lower. If price goes any lower than this price structure right in here, if price goes any lower than this price structure, forget it, trades off. This isn't going to happen. But I think what we saw here, you can see this market, this price action. So we had price slamming down here. We had a brief trade higher into here, and then it slammed down one more time and completely rejected. Right, coming up to here, again, took out these highs here and it's been trading sideways. If you look out on the hourly, we took out a big area of liquidity down here and under here, and ran all the stops and basically got down, just about took out this one here, but didn't quite get to it. And that was the last big retrace that they had done off of this bull move momentum right here. They came in, dropped it once, powered off, came back down, and slight retrace, and then pushed it up one more time. And again, I think that we'll probably see this run higher. Now again, if that 128.30 level or 128.25 starts to get taken out, forget that, because they're probably going to want to keep coming lower and trade back down into this area down here. But I think they're going to want to trade higher and close up this gap here. And just again, that price action on the US dollar looked like it rejected, and so we could see, if the US dollar rejects, we could see price run higher on the pound dollar. And with that news again coming in at 4:30 a.m., that could be the thing that sort of pushes it in the right direction for us here. So that was just a quick trade idea. That's all I'm looking at doing. I'm not doing anything else. And if I do take a trade, if price does come down here, we're already starting to lose this level here. So that kind of leads me to believe that we may see price trade weaker down into here, which I would love, a bigger discount. And let's say we got a long off at 128.45-ish. That gap comes in about 100 pips, 110 pips higher. beautiful. I mean, that would be absolutely perfect. And I certainly wouldn't be holding, if this does happen, I certainly wouldn't be holding out right to the low of this candle, fill that gap. I would be taking my profits as soon as price came in and hit, this candle right in here. To be honest with you, that would probably be where I'd be looking at taking some of my profits at. Just as a FURI 129.45, you can call it, somewhere right around there. Basically, nice 100 pip run if we can get it. And then again, your stop, you'd want to be under this price structure right here. So you don't need to get a massive stop on this, 30, 40, 50 pip stop or anything like that. If price wants to start coming down into here, that's only 20 pips away. You could easily put a 25 pip stop, be nice and safe there. But again, if this level starts to get broken, they're going to come down for that. So I would collapse your trade early. But that's kind of what I'm looking at, and that's only if we do see that pop higher on that pop lower on US dollar, which we could potentially get. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. And that's about all I've got to say. I don't really want to see price go a lot higher than here. If it does push higher than this area, it could just want to run. See these two equal highs? So I'll just maybe bring this up. See these two equal highs right here? They could want to just do a real quick pop above that and then come back down and reject lower. So watch for that, but we may not get movement through this area in here. But if it does push through that, we could get that small little pop. And if that happens, then we will see the pound dollar retreat a little bit more than what it currently is. Sorry, give me 1 second. I just gotta fix something on my chart here, just so I can. There we go. So we're gonna flip back and forth. Yeah. So if we do get this small pop above, we could see a little bit deeper retracement on the pound dollar, which could lead us into, again, getting through that block of price action there and then down into here. So that would be kind of what I'm looking for. But anyway, that is pretty much about it. I hope that made sense. And I hope this one wants to come to fruition. Look at that, 422% retracement level, back up into here. That lines up very nicely, actually, with this 129.45 level here. So a lot of confluences that are coming into play here, and I think we could see this coming out. So anyway, that's all I got to say. Hopefully that's helped you out a little bit and gave you a little bit of insight. And if you have any questions, I got my chat open here. You guys never ask any questions, so hopefully I explain this well enough for you. But that's sort of, that's it. I wanted to keep this one pretty short and sweet. I've been going on for about a half an hour, and that's kind of all I want to talk about. So I haven't talked with Dave. I don't know if he's going to be in for a New York Open session. I hope he is, and I'll let you know if he does. He'll be jumping on the New York Open at 9:30 a.m. Just in time for equities opening. Dave will be trading the S&P markets, and pretty lackluster market. Actually, sorry, lackluster. Nice big drop on S&P today. It really pushed lower and then rejected again. So be rest assured, Dave is going to be talking about that going into tomorrow if he is coming back on. I'll confirm that for you. I'll let you know. I'll shoot out a tweet and give you lots of time to prepare for that. Or you can just click the bottom right-hand corner by my F45 trading right at the end here, and just click subscribe if you're not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, and you'll get instant notifications that I'm going live or that Dave is going live, and you can jump on the feed there and take advantage of that. So anyway, thanks guys. Hope you have a great trading day Wednesday. Keep it light, keep it easy. This is the last week before we're full guns ablazing back into regular trading hours again and regular market cycles. So hold tight. I would even suggest maybe just sitting on the sidelines for the rest of the week. If you do want to take this trade in the cable, maybe do a demo trade, or just keep a really, really low trading size. So anyway, that's all I got to say, guys. Thanks very much for joining, and we'll catch up to you on the next one.